Okay, on this video here, we're going to cover how I got two video inputs into my Scion FRS stock head unit. It took me a little while to figure it out, which is why I never made the video originally, but I think it's time to go ahead and share that just in case anybody wants to do something similar. You don't have to do it the way I did it. I'm just showing you what I did and what I figured out, and just set it up whatever fits your needs. So we're just going to go ahead and go through a demo. So the way it works, the harness that I got by default is you put the car in reverse, which is now this, and then you get your first camera signal. Now with this reverse wire used to be in the floor kickboard over there as the actual reverse. Now it's on a switch, so I can activate it whenever I want, and then plus it's crucial to camera 2, and I'll explain that in a second. So this whole thing is going to be based off this $34 or so camera wiring harness I got from eBay. I'll try to have the link on the description. That is actually pretty neat because it came with the fuse and it came with the relay, which turned out to be a 5-blade relay, which is perfect for what this needs. So the reason you need your reverse wire not in your actual reverse, because in order for camera 2 to work, you need to activate the reverse signal, if you will. So camera 1, and then we flip switch, and now we have camera 2, which is this one here, just for testing purposes. And like I said, so if you have camera 2 on and you turn off the reverse signal, then you lose it altogether, because this switch here activates the video screen. So you need to have, in my case, I need to have both switches on to give it camera 2, and just the first one for camera 1. So that's the best way to think about it. Camera 1, camera 2. But camera 1 has to be on. Now the way this worked by default was the bottom wire was the source power that was getting from the head unit, and I was sending it to the top wire to the first camera. And the black one, of course, is your ground, and this is your signal switch. Now, one thing I found out is for this to work, for any camera or any video input source to work, it has to send power out to the device and receive a video signal. If it doesn't do that, then it's not going to work, which is why it took me a while to figure it out. So no matter what's happening right now, is even though the camera signal is not on, you can't see the camera, there is power going to camera 1. And I could tell because this relay is warm the way I have it set up, because there's power going to it regardless. All you're doing is telling the video screen to come on with the first switch, and then you can control camera 1 and 2 with the second switch. Now what this switch here is actually doing, this bottom switch is actually tied into this white wire. So I have power from this, from my cigarette lighter, and then when this is switch on, it's switching power up to this white wire here. Now the reason I want this to happen is because whenever the head unit first comes on, power goes to this bottom wire, right? This is our source. Now on this 5-blade relays, you're going to get power to the middle blade when that happens automatically. Is just how these relays work. So right now these two bottom ones have power, which makes my camera 1 work. When this white one gets switched over, it cuts power from this middle one and instead powers up the top one. So now the top and the bottom have power. Head unit, camera 2. And when this is on. When this is off, is head unit power, camera 1. As far as the video signal is, I got a simple Y, RCA Y, and this bottom wire here is for, focus. It's getting dark, so I apologize for it being kind of grainy. This one here is my camera 2. This one here is the camera 1. And this one over here is going to the head unit. Now, it's not the Y that I wanted, but it's one I had laying around. So whenever you do that, you are going to notice that your video signal is going to get a little bit dimmer, because the video signal is now split, so it's a little bit weaker. But if I went into my head unit settings and I turn up the brightness a little bit, I think there's a specific option on the camera. Let's see. Yes, so there's a camera option here, and then you have a contrast. and maybe I didn't burn it up, but you will notice the difference. But if that's the case, I think I noticed it when the lights were on, the park lights. So if you need to adjust your camera because of your signal getting weaker, you'll go through your setup options, and then you go to display and camera. So again, to recap, and I'll try to have this diagram, is head unit turns on, and because our relay is going to send power to the first camera through the middle blade. The middle blade powers camera 1, and the head unit likes that, because all I have to do now is turn this switch on here, which is this thin red wire here that goes into the head unit. It's acting as a reverse. So now we have this signal here. Now when we flip camera the second switch, it sends power to this white wire, which then switches power from powering from the bottom one to power the middle one to powering the top one. And video signals on the whole time. So try to break it down as simple as I can. Is this is your video powering signal, which powers up the screen to show your inputs, and this is switching powers between camera 1 and camera 2 because of the 5-blade relay. And I'm gonna have a diagram, and I'll try to make it nice, but I'm probably just gonna sketch it up with a pen and paper and post it in a video, and hopefully it makes sense. You know, if you have any concerns or you're not sure, make sure that you can use a test light or a voltmeter so that you don't burn things out, burn fuses. It's not really complicated now that I figured it out. I know how it all works. The wiring may look a little bit different because I'm using a factory subwoofer that's plug and play, so yours may not look as tangled as this. But this 5-blade relay is the key to everything, and I hope that you can figure it out and use it for whatever you want. Camera, switch 2 off, switch 1 off.